Hello to you, whoever you are, no idea. This is a 2015 Citroen DS5 THP 200 Sport. Yeah, I got it right. This car is possibly a car you've just watched a road test on, maybe? Don't know, hopefully. If you haven't, feel free to check it out. Basically, it's a car that's been brought down to me and I took it for a run to figure out if I liked it or not. Still can't quite figure out if I like it or not. But one of the other reasons we've brought the car down here today is to pop it on dyno, because this is the first time I've ever put one of these engines on the dyno in any capacity, in any car. This is the 1600cc Prince engine. And I know some people have gone, there's a lot of dry teeth in the audience. Yeah, so they're known for being a bit, yeah, chocolate in ways. I don't really know much about them, if I'm honest. None of the cars I've got have got one. I doubt I'll ever own a car that does have one. But here it is on the dyno. So it's 1.6 turbo. So it is a 1598cc. So it's 1.6. It's 16 valve turbo with intercooler. The book figure in here, 197 imperial horsepower or 200 PS stroke metric horsepower at 5,800 RPM. Not a rever. Torque, 202 pound-foot or 275 Newton meters. Not insane numbers, but then don't forget it is a 1.6. This is a 1600cc engine at 1,700 RPM. 1700 RPM. That's low. That is low. But then this is a heavy car. This weighs over 1,600 kilos. So as I found out in the test drive, it's not necessarily the ball of fire you think it might be. But it goes okay. It goes okay. Quite happily keeps up with everything. Well, no, not everything. That's a lie. There'd be plenty of faster cars. But you know what I mean? It keeps up with the traffic. You're not left behind on hills and things. It's also quite short geared. That'll be interesting. I mean, do these runs in fourth gear. I'm interested to see what sort of speed it's going to be doing. But it's all on, it's strapped up. Let's have a quick look at the engine before we get going on this to see what kind of numbers this thing is going to produce, because I honestly don't know. Is this going to be one of the cars that overproduces? Is it going to be one of the cars that underproduces? I don't think I've had a turbocharged petrol PSA car of any type but hit its book numbers. So we know that PSA cars, particularly the ones with the TU engine, the little engine, they exceed their numbers. We know that the XU engines and the EW engines can be kind of where they're meant to be roughly, but this is another one. This is a new ball game. It's a sort of funky bonnet here, really, isn't it? Oh, he's got a little dent. Oh, and gas struts on an aluminium bonnet. So that literally weighs nothing. There is the engine. You can't see it. I'll have to come and get you. There she is. Yeah, a 1.6 litre twin overhead cam engine, nothing exceptional in that, with a turbocharger, which is here, nothing exceptional in that, and it produces 200 horsepower. Well, these days there's nothing exceptional in that. But you got to forget, this engine came out, what, 13 years ago? And some of the power figures, I mean, the Peugeot RCZ, I think there was a version that got like 250 horsepower or something, or 240 if I remember rightly. So yeah, this ain't too bad, but it's not a characterful engine. They are known for being a little fragile. They have their timing chain problems, I believe. I think it's a BMW Peugeot or BMW PSA joint venture, I think. The chap who owns it, James, I think he told me it's got Vanos on the intake cam. So it can alter its lift as well as its timing. Yeah, I think he said that, but I could also be talking complete twaddle. It's a 6-speed manual gearbox, so we shouldn't have any issues from that point of view, but this thing does like to bong. There are many bongs and many warning lights inside, so I'm hoping that's really weird. Yeah, I'm hoping we don't get any problems. Right, let's do it. Right, so it's a turbo car, so I've left it running just to chill out for a minute. That was seriously non-dramatic inside. Apart from all the bongs and things, it was like the smoothest, quietest run I've ever done on the rolling road. Right, here we go. 200 to beat, what do you reckon? Oh. Oh dear, that's not good. Oh. That's a bit deflating. I mean, I have to be totally honest, it on the road it doesn't actually feel that quick, but maybe there's something actually not right with it. £198 at 3,000, so it's the peak figure of torque. It's getting near it, but it's having to wait until 3,000 revs to get to it, so it's got a dip. It's supposed to be, the peak torque is supposed to be back here, up here somewhere. That's a bit of a squirrely graph, isn't it? Let's try it again. Right, let's have a look. Hit the limit at that time. Oh, that improved. Okay, so we've improved. 194, so why was the last one so crap? Yeah, we've improved. So what have I done differently? And this, the first one was just a bum run because it had all its warning lights and things are all bonging at me, and it was complaining, it wasn't happy. I'll tell you what, we're gonna have to do another one, aren't we? In the interest of scientific, to prove the last one was a bum run, we need to do another one. It is still going squirrely up here, but we need to do another run to make sure that it is in the 190s. If we do another one and it's about that kind of number, then we'll say that's about right. But the only difference that time, of course, also is that I took it all the way to the limiter, which I didn't do the first time. But the torque shifted down and come up to where it's meant to be. Yeah, I think it's just probably that I just cleared the pipes on it a little bit, and it's probably some kind of ECU mode where maybe I was driving it a little bit gingerly, and now the fuel, the fuel trim was a bit low or a bit high, I should say, and now it's in power mode. Who knows? Maybe I'm talking crap. Right, moment of truth, run number 3. 196, yeah, okay, so we'll take that. 196. This is DIN, so it's more comparable to the PS figure that's in the brochures, but in 197 imperial horsepower. If we'd done this in imperial, it would be around about 194, that number, 193, 194, so take it. It's still not totally happy, is it? There's something not quite right, but I think that's good. Look at this. This is coming down as well. I can't help but think the more we do it, the better it's getting as well. Possibly just blowing some cobwebs out of it, or even just adjusting its map slightly based on the fact we keep ragging it. But yeah. Okay. Well, what started off looked like it was going to be a disaster. Looks like it seems to have gone all right. Yeah. I'd call that a success. The first run, a little bit odd. Not quite sure what was happening there. It's possible that, well, as I say, you do get bum runs, but that was well out. The only other thing I can think of that, the only thing I changed on the dyno between the first run and the second two were the rate at which it was allowing the car to accelerate. because when they've got more power, you have to let them accelerate a bit quicker normally if they've got longer gearing. Otherwise, the run just goes like that, and you don't end up with it measuring properly. But at the same time, if you have it measuring too much, you can stress the car out. You know, if it's braking too much, you can stress the car out, and you can get some anomalies in the graph as well. So the first run, possibly, I can't imagine it would do it. I changed it by 1 kilometre an hour per second. 1. So yeah. Oh well, that's the result, isn't it? Thank you to James for bringing that down. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this and you haven't seen the road test, well, you can go and watch that. If you enjoyed this and you have seen the road test, or you don't want to watch it, there are plenty more of these, not DS5s, cars, on the dyno. Lots of tests on the website. There's a link in the comments. Go to the website, shows you the league table of all the cars that have been on here that I've bothered to add to the league table. This will go on there in the production class, although slightly not hitting the mark. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. 50,000 miles on it. It's near or thereabouts what it's supposed to be. And the stupid thing with this kind of car is you could take this off, get a remap done on it, and have like 100 horsepower extra, probably for 20 quid. So, right, I'm going home. Literally, I'm going home.